Hey everybody, welcome back. Glad you could be here. Today I'm going to share with you about 5 books that I'm very excited to read, 3 of which are probably coming out in 2020. The other 2, I'm not really sure. I'm hopeful that they will come out this year, but I'm just really not sure if that's going to happen or not. So we'll talk about those in a minute. If you have not seen my previous video where I talk about my book reading goals for the new year, make sure you check out that video. I'll leave it in the links at the end of the video, in the end description, as well as in the links below in my description of the video. But those are all books that I either own or will own, but they're already out, so it's pretty much guaranteed I'll be able to read those. And so this video is talking about new releases. So I'm very excited to share these with you. Stay tuned for the end of the video because I will be sharing a couple final thoughts on goals for the channel at the end. So watch till the end so you get to see that. And without further ado, let's get right into it. The first book I am extremely excited about has a definitive release date. And that is, of course, Book 4 in the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. Now, the title is rumored to be Rhythms of War, which is a really cool title, I might add. But I don't think it's really been confirmed yet. But we do have a confirmed release date, and that is November 17th. Now, of course, anything could happen, and that date could get changed, pushed back or pushed forward, depending on how things go at the editor, and there's a whole lot of factors to consider when you're talking about book release dates. But Brandon's always really good about keeping his fans up to date with his progress. He did finish writing the book, so now it's off to the editor and see where things go from there. So he did give a release date, and I'm pretty excited about that. So if and when that book does come out this year, I will be adding that to my list because the first 3 books are amazing. So yeah, that is the first book. The second one I'm pretty excited about is a new book by Christopher Paolini. Now, if you're not familiar with Christopher, he wrote The Inheritance Cycle. The first book was Aragon. You may have heard of that. It's known for the different colored dragons on the covers. Very simple covers, but really eye-catching. And he's got a new book coming out in September. I forget the release date, actually, but I know it's in September sometime. And it's a sci-fi novel, which is new for Christopher Paolini. Now, I really liked The Inheritance Cycle. It was a really fun fantasy read. There were parts that got a little old after a while, but overall, it was a great story. And so I'm excited to see what he does with science fiction. The book is called To Sleep in a Sea of Stars, which is a really cool title, and I'm excited to see what happens with it. So I will likely pick up that book and start reading it when it comes out in September. The third book is one that's kind of iffy. It's expected to come out probably closer to the end of this year, but nothing for sure has been said officially. And that is The Seven Sisters by Neil Gaiman. This is a sequel to Neverwhere. And of course, I've never talked about how much I love Neil Gaiman on this channel. You won't find anything about that at all. Yes, I'm being sarcastic because I always talk about how much I love Neil Gaiman. Neverwhere is one of my favorite books. And so I'm excited to see what he does with a sequel to it. And it's been many years since he wrote Neverwhere, so this getting a continuation of that story is pretty cool. It is expected to come out this year. He announced it, I think, about 2 years ago that he was starting to write it. So we may get it this year, and if so, I'm very excited, and I will be picking that up and starting to read that. I may not finish it by the end of the year, but I'll probably at least get it started. Because as you know, I read several books at a time, so I've always got a couple of books I'm putting down and picking up the other one and vice versa. So now I want to get to the books that I am very, very hopeful will come out in 2020. But I'm not really sure. Nothing's been said definitively when it's going to happen. The first one is the third book in the Kingkiller Chronicle by Patrick Rothfuss, entitled, or supposedly titled, The Doors of Stone. I've mentioned before how much I love Patrick's writing. He is a phenomenal author. The Kingkiller Chronicles get a lot of flack from some people, and then other people just absolutely adore the books, and I am one of those who engages in adoration of these books. I'm just a huge fan of his writing. I'm a huge fan of the story. Kavoth is an awesome character, I think, and I'm excited to see the end of that trilogy, or at least what I think is going to be a trilogy. And you can let me know if you've heard otherwise. But we've been hearing a lot that he's still writing it. There was one mishap a few months back where it got outed that there was a release date, and then it got pulled back. So I don't really think it was a release date. But I would love it if that book was coming out this year. I'm just really excited to see the end of that particular story that he is writing. But as a writer myself, I know how much goes into a book, and I'm not one of those fans that vehemently chews out the author for not having his book out yet. I respect the craft. I know that he's putting a lot of heart and soul into it, and I don't want the book to be released prematurely if it's not quite ready. So I hope it'll come out this year, but we don't know for sure. Nothing's been officially released. And I will anxiously await it whenever it comes. So stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comments if you've been looking forward to that book, or if you haven't heard of the series. I highly recommend it to you. The final book. And I am not the only person that talks endlessly about this book coming out. It's all over fantasy book fandoms about when the next novel will be released. You're probably no stranger to it if you've been around fantasy book circles. And that is the sixth, I can't say that word, gee whiz. The sixth book in the Song of Ice and Fire, entitled The Winds of Winter by George R. R. Martin. We have been waiting a long time for book 6. And if you're a fan of the Game of Thrones TV show, or were before the ending of season 8, that series is based on this book series, and I'm very anxious to see what George does to continue his story, because while season 8 was okay for me, I have a feeling that his ending will be better and his continuation of the story will be better. So I'm hoping that that book will be released this year. There's kind of a fun Twitter handle called "Is the Winds of Winter Out Yet?" or something like that, I think. And they'll have daily Twitter posts. Is it out yet? Nope. No, it's not out yet. Nope, still waiting. It's rather funny. It's really hilarious. But we have been waiting a long time for this book, and maybe it'll come out this year. Maybe we'll get a nice surprise, maybe around the holidays or something like that. So, George, if you're watching this, please, we would love to read the new book. But as I said about Patrick Rothfuss, I say the same about you. I understand that you're working hard on making it the best it can possibly be. So don't rush it, but I really want to read it. Yeah. So, okay, enough of my ranting. Let me know in the comments what you thought about some of the books I talked about today. And maybe you have some other suggestions, or maybe you have some updates that I don't know about these books. So let me know in the comments. Click a like on the video if you enjoyed it. But don't go away yet, because I have a couple of updates for you. I just hit 50 subscribers on this channel. I would very much like to get to 100 subscribers. And I briefly mentioned before that once I hit 100 subscribers, I will be doing a book giveaway. I'm not going to tell you which book, but I do have a book in mind. But I have to hit 100 subscribers first. So you can help me with that. Clicking like on my videos, sharing them with your friends, getting your other friends to watch and subscribe to my videos. Make sure you're signed up for notifications if you're a subscriber, and if you're not a subscriber yet, why not? It's time to subscribe, see what's going on this funny little world of mine. So yeah, I want to hit 100 subscribers. That's a current goal. And as soon as I do, I'll be doing that book giveaway. I am really hoping to maybe hit 500 subscribers by the end of this year. That's just a goal, not set in stone. I'd be happy if I hit more. I'll still be happy if I don't hit 500. But I'm just kind of throwing that out there to the universe. Maybe I'll hit 500 subscribers this year. And maybe you can help me with that. That would be cool. So let me know in the comments what you thought about this video in general. Click a like if you enjoyed it. Make sure you are subscribed, as I have already said. Get your notifications and share with your friends. And the most important thing I want you to do, if you do nothing else today, I want you to start reading more books. And I will talk to you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.